Micah Frankel, joined right now by Josh Montoya. We're going to be talking about, post-fight interview, King of the Cage, Starbound II. Hey, Josh, how's it going?
Doing good, man. Doing good. How about you?
Doing good. Took a couple days to recover from 3 fights in 3 days here locally, but I'm good now. How are you?
I can imagine, man. What do we have? We had the Jackson Week fights on Friday. Then we had the boxing fights with Josh Torres on Saturday, and then the 19 fight card on Sunday for King of the Cage.
Yeah, it was a wild weekend. It was a wild weekend.
That's good though, man. I mean, I don't think there's anything going on for the rest of the year, right?
Yeah, no, we're
In
done
Mexico.
locally till the middle to end of January, I believe. So we're done for a good 5 to 6 weeks here locally.
Yeah, that'll be nice. Everybody can kind of just relax. And I hear some big things are coming to New Mexico in January. Though it'll be cool when they get all that situated and announced.
Right, heard actually there's a possibility two big promotions both fighting over dates trying to get out here. We saw you back in action. We saw you on Sunday night. You were victorious. Let's touch on that real quick. How did you feel Sunday night, Starbound 2, first round finish of Gene Perez?
Yeah, man. I felt I felt like getting a win. That on Sunday, I was really, it's been me and Jerome Rivera. Him and I are really close. Ever since his arm break and my 3 year layoff, and then my defeat with Abel Cullum, like, man, me and that guy have had like this black cloud just hanging over us, for a while, and like we needed something to change, and so that was like that was one of the biggest motivations, getting it back into camp and taking another fight and getting back in there and just kind of getting over this hump that him and I have, just kind of this almost just like bad luck, like I take 3 years off and I fight Abel Cullum in the main event. I felt really good in that fight, and then get caught with something that I've something like guillotine. I've been doing jiu-jitsu since I was 14 or 15 years old, so that one really hurt, but I learned a lot from that fight and carry on to this fight. So I just really needed to, clear that, just that bad juju that Jerome and I had, along with Jerome's really bad injury with LFA and Vail, Colorado. Like that was like my biggest motivation, just getting a W. So. I think that was my my plan was to go in against Gene Perez and not give everybody such a heart attack. That's all on my side, like not get cut up and beat up, and just sticking to the game plan and getting a W. Like that was my motivation for this fight, camp and this fight.
How surprising how the fight played out?
Like Gene, I've always respected him because I think you have to respect him and his brother, like, I mean, at the end of the day, man, they're tough guys, man. I mean, they're like I've always said it, they're like the Diaz brothers of New Mexico, like, they're just tough as nails. I mean, they're actually pretty decent boxers, like, I think, like with Gene, like you have to respect him, and if you don't, it could be a bad night. You think you could just run through him because he has a bad record? I think, like that could, bite you in the butt, and you can lose to a guy like him because he's coming, man. He's coming in to win, and he's trying to knock you out. But like from all my experience of my career and all my training, that I've done over the years, like I knew what he wanted to do. Like I know he wanted me to stand there and not even technically kickbox with him. Like, he just wanted to get in a brawl and just, make it ugly. And that's kind of his kind of fight. So, like with my team, man, I really learned a lot from the Abel fight. And taking 3 years off, like, I feel like if I don't learn anything from my mistakes, then what am I doing? So I had to stick to the game plan, and I knew that there's levels to this game, and it's not a kickboxing match. It's not a boxing match. Like I did say in an interview before the fight that I'll be excited for him, to stand up with me. And, like, I did stand up, but I stood up as much as I needed to get to the fight where I needed to be. So
you get the win, you get the rear naked choke. How much of a builder is that, of a confidence builder is it to end that streak of bad luck as you send it, to be able to close out the year on a high note?
It's awesome, man. Like, now I can just, go on the holidays and, like, hang out with my family and, hang out with my friends and go to work and, like, train my people and just, like, feel good about it, like, that's the biggest thing, man. I need to get back on the winning track, and I felt like, man, like, my record is, right now it's 12-10, and, like, I haven't fought nobodies, like, I've always been down to fight whoever, whenever, and that's part of my problem, with my record is I was down to fight guys on a week or 2 weeks notice and with no training camp, like, and I won't be doing that ever again. It's something that I've learned, and I learned from, and, like, honestly, I'm only 28 years old, like, I grew up in this game. This is what I know how to do, and this is where I'm comfortable. This is what I'm comfortable doing. Like, I like to fight, and BJ Penn said it best. Like, fish swim, birds fly, and I fight. And it's just kind of what it is, and I fight. So I'm gonna continue to fight, and I'm gonna continue to get better. But going forward, we're gonna have a full camp for whoever we fight. And we're not just going to fight anybody, we're going to be smart. And, we still have a lot of fights, and I think we can make it, we can make it to the big show still.
Was it a accomplishment in of itself, sticking to the game plan and not allowing yourself to get in there and brawl? Because we know you love fighting. You'll get in there and start a firefight because you want to. Was it a achievement to stick to the game plan this time?
Yeah, man. I mean, like, I'm done trying to prove things to people. Like, I'm done trying to beat people at their own game, and that's like, it's such an awesome trait that I have, that I am like that. That's just a fighter in me. Like, if you're a world-class kickboxer, my mindset is, well, I'm going to go beat you at your own game, and I'm going to kickbox you, like with Ed West. When I fought in Bellator, like, that was one of my biggest mistakes is, for 2 rounds, I stood up with a dude that's a really good kickboxer, and, like, and I was doing really good. It's just, things happen, you get caught. Anything can happen in this game when you're throwing those small gloves, and you've got your throwing knees and elbows and shin bones around. Like, anything can happen in this game. It's not. This game's very unforgiving. So, like, I'm just gonna stick to how I know how to fight, and how I know how to fight is to win fights. Not anybody listening that fights me next. Like, don't just think that I'm gonna try to take you down all the time. Like, like, that's not me. Like, a lot of people haven't seen my kickboxing, and that's okay. But I want to show my kickboxing when I have to show my kickboxing. and Gene was telling me after the fight, I should, we should box, and well, that I was gonna stand up, and the only thing I have to say to that is, learn some offensive or defensive wrestling to make me stand up, then I'll have to be forced to stand with people, but for right now, for the next couple of fights, man, like, I'm just gonna go get W's. Like, I don't care about giving wars and going to the hospital and getting beat up just because I'm trying to prove a point. Like, I'm just gonna get W's, and that's my main goal for the next year coming up.
So almost a more workman, professionalized mentality heading into the next couple fights is your mindset?
Yeah, man, like being more professional and just treating this game as it's a sport, man. And I don't get paid anymore if I go 3 rounds, like if I could end it early and not get hit, then that's my game plan, even in training, man, like I really don't even spar that. I mean, I spar hard every once in a while, but like I don't spar hard every day because for me, it's more important to get that technique down and be in the best shape possible. And because I already know how to fight, man. Like I said, I've been fighting since I was like 14. Like I want to protect my brain, and I want to be able to have a long, healthy life. With my kids and with my wife and with my friends, man. Like that's more important for me is just being healthy and just longevity. So yeah, man, just being more professional in this game and making the right decisions going forward.
You had spent so much time training with Judgment MMA in Rio Rancho. When you had that fight with Ed West, I remember it was a huge deal you getting that opportunity. Was there almost, kicking out some ghosts out of that arena for you getting a win there at the Star Center on Sunday?
Yeah, it's funny you say that, like that was on my mind for the training camp, but like on the way there, me and Jerome drove there. Like it never really crossed my mind. Like I just kind of let that stuff go. Like even though I got knocked out there and it was a really bad knockout, like I didn't even think about that type of stuff. Like so much has happened since then, man, and I don't believe in that type of stuff. Like I knew what I had to do. It was stay on the game plan and don't veer off the game plan. Don't let my ego get the best of me of, being back there and, having that little birdie on my shoulder and say, let's just go beat this guy at his own game. Like I'm good, man. Like I'd rather get the W and with Gene, like I knew what I had to do. So, if had I followed the game plan for the Ed West fight, maybe it could have done differently, maybe not. I don't know. But everything in my career has happened for a reason. I'm gonna take it in stride, and yeah, man. Like people gotta watch out for the next couple of years, man. Who they fight, like who I fight. So. Yeah, I'm super excited, man, for the years to come.
You got the twins at home. Was it a different feeling having your hand raised now as a father?
Oh man, it was awesome. Like yeah, man, it's a good feeling, man. It was like a weight lifted off my shoulder. Like I hadn't won since they were born. And there's 3 now. And it was nice just to be able to have that, energy back home, like of me, succeeding at something and winning. And, most importantly for me, man, like winning or losing, whatever, like it's going to be what it's going to be. But, what's important for me is, being healthy, not getting hurt. Like, I just want to be healthy, and if I get the W, that's awesome, man. There's nothing better than a W, but just being healthy that's the ultimate one for me.
You talked about it, some big ambitions. What are you looking? What are you looking for this next year? These next couple fights. What do you want?
I want to do what I want to do. I mean, that's the biggest thing that I will do. You know, I'm not gonna have any promoters. I can care less who they are. You know, like I don't. It doesn't matter who you are. I want to fight when I want to fight, and I'll fight who I want to fight. And I think I have a big enough name in New Mexico. You know, I always sell tickets. You know, like selling tickets. I know that's not a big thing for me. I always have a big following. So I don't think I have to worry about that. You know, I'm super blessed to be able to have this, you know, big support system that I have. But, yeah, man, just taking my time, doing things right, and, you know, treating this with respect and like a professional and staying healthy. And, yeah, man, I mean, you know, I'm ready to get hitting up by promoters, you know, and it's not even in New Mexico, you know, like, I'm getting hit by a lot of promoters, but that's because they all know that I'm down to fight, but I ain't like that right now, you know, like, I am down to fight, but, no, man, I have nothing to prove, and, you know, I'll let you know when I'm ready to fight, and, yeah, that's my biggest, you know, that's my biggest, goals for the coming fights is I will let you know when I want to fight, and if I don't like the matchup, then I ain't gonna fight. You know, like it don't matter to me, man. I don't fight for the money anymore. You know, I think that was the biggest thing for me was, you know, fighting was like a job. You know, like I needed to pay my bills and put food on the table, and I don't need that anymore, you know, like I have a good job and I do personal training. I have a lot of clients and it's awesome, man. Like I can't be more thankful. So, yeah, I'm just fighting because I want to fight. So, yeah.
Fighting because you want to fight, not to mention just the recent win. Is there a weight lifted off your shoulders?
Yeah, heck yeah, man. It's a huge weight, you know, just because I always knew that I had it. You know, I always knew how much hard work I've been putting in, and I always knew that I could, you know, go for a goal and do whatever I can do it. It's all about timing, man. Timing's everything. You know, like it's everything, man. And you know, as I get older, and you know, like as you know, I have my family, and I'm surrounded by all these awesome people. Like you only get wiser. So, having that weight lifted off my shoulder is huge, but, you know, I know there's a lot more to come.
As always, Josh, it's been great getting to talk with you.
Yeah, man, you as well. You know, again, you're always putting a lot of work into these covering these shows, man, and I don't think a lot of people understand how much work you put into it, man, and you know, I really appreciate it to be able to have, you know, these fighters be able to have a platform and, you know, be heard, and I think it's awesome what you're doing. So, you know, like keep up the good work, and I think it's awesome what you do.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. And again, thanks for joining me today.